Namaste, divine beings. Vanakkam. To receive a mantra is to receive the seed of the divinity embedded in the mantra. When we go to see an enlightened master, whatever we may ask for is like safety pins that serves us temporarily. The only thing worth asking for is a part of that consciousness. So when a realized being gives a mantra, we are receiving a part of their consciousness. Now, the path of spirituality is in being the spirit and expanding our consciousness and finding unions with source, God, goddess. All of this is enhanced through the mantras. Receiving the mantra, chanting the mantras is the mother of meditation. While there is the meditation without the mantra, the meditation with the mantra changes the entirety of not only the objective of meditation itself, but also the realities of experience. Through all parts of ancient Sanatana Dharma, mantra is vital. And today, when we explore the 10 vital blessings of empowerments in mantra chanting, we will understand how we can utilize the mantra in ways in which we can multiply its efficacy. The first divine one is the Guru's grace. Through my journey as a sadhu, as a seeker, as I connected with my gurus, they gave me their blessings in the form of a light they lit within me, and that was the mantra grace. I do not have any formal education as in Hinduism, as in the scriptures. And yet I know that it is my Guru's grace that allows me for the wisdom from within that aligns to the scriptures and the wisdom of the past. The Guru's grace is powerful since we know of a theory, the 10,000 hour theory, where if we are to focus on any subject, anything for 10,000 hours, we would naturally be the masters of that. But the Guru's grace is different. It dissolves away the time frame and in a moment allows for us to be the master. And this is the first, receiving the mantra from an enlightened being, from the one who we take as a Guru, enhances the mantra's power, because it's within the mantra that the Guru's grace is, the Master's grace is. The second, bhakti, divine love. Now, when we are in love with Source God, Goddess union, this devotional love, bhakti, is the single most important blessing we could ever have. It now fills ourselves in a way in which old habits and addictions of the previous layer of consciousness dissolves away. It's filled with the new. Love for God, the passion for source union, allows us to set discipline to have more of it. Bhakti is generated through mantras. So when we are chanting the mantra, assuming this mantra is invoking Lord Shiva, as we chant, there is the devotional love that builds. And this devotional love begins to break or dissolve the I into we. The divine and the individual self is one. The soul, Jivatma, becomes the Paramatma, the Supreme Spirit, through bhakti, divine love. The next is, when we are chanting a mantra, our mind converges in singularity. As the mind merges into singularity, there is not only the purification of the mind, but also our thoughts become more potent. It's like a magnifying glass, converging all of the light into that single spot where now light has now transcended itself into pure energy. This is what the mantra does. As we chant, as we come into the single pointedness, we become that. There's a transformation happening within us. In the moment we are transforming all of the karma, all of the past karma to dharma. In other words, all of the past now becomes blessings. All of the now is happening as we converge our mind into the single pointedness. And as our mind becomes single pointed, so does the potency of each thought. When our mind has become single pointed, now There's no room for the mind to play other than be the instrument of the divine. The divine means the expanded layers of consciousness where we are beyond our memory, beyond the limits of the mind. The single pointedness now has transformed us to divinity itself. The next is transcending breath to access realized wisdom. So, as we chant, we realize we are with breath, and now that breath is beginning to lengthen itself, and slowly we begin to experience the breath beyond breath. The breath beyond breath is what leads us to the state of samadhi, the state of sheer source goddess unions. Now, as the breath has been taken or dissolved into the breath beyond breath, we are now truly meditating. The power of meditation is to align with Source God. Now, when it's aligned in absolutes to Source God, breath has ceased. Now, if we notice in our life, whenever we are emotional or we are not where we are supposed to, a few deep breaths almost instantly resets our mind to harmony. Now, imagine going to the breath beyond breath. Now we are resetting not only our mind, but we're resetting ourselves in the karmic imprints. We are resetting ourselves in being the master of our destiny. The next dimension, blessing of mantra chanting is we create our epicenter to know inner peace and tranquility. In realities, we all experience the ups and downs of life and events. We then are subject to the shift of our breath from the left and to the right. The right is optimism, vitality, inspiration. The left is the time to relax, the time to go within, the time to sleep. It's also the time to feel sad, depressed. So, with these ups and downs of the breath and reality, there is the center point, and that center point is the epicenter core within each of us. When we chant the mantra, we are now stepping into the epicenter of ourselves as the spirit witnessing the human drama. We are creating the greater and greater core like a muscle within ourselves. This epicenter is peace, tranquility, harmony, from where no matter what the situation is, we are still able to deal with whatever it is from peace, calm and harmony, to have optimal decisions, to see in clarity, to work with a pristine mind. The next is becoming the invoked. Now let's assume we are meditating on a lake or meditating on a bird or meditating on whatever, a single point. It's fantastic to get the mind to single pointedness. But by the law of attraction, whatever we desire, if we hold it for a few moments, that desire will come true. When we are with the mantra, invoking the divinity, we become this divinity. This is why, in the core of our realization, we know I am becoming, being the invoked. So when you spend hours, days, years through mantra chanting, we have now imbibed all the divinity there is in the mantra to be the invoked. The next is being the vortex, protected, guided, and source aligned. As we chant, know that we are becoming a vortex, a vibrancy that is connected to Source God, Goddess, protected at all times. When a higher vibrancy has formed itself as a vortex within us, no matter what the energy field is outside ourselves, we either deflect it or absorb it into our light. We are at all times protected, guided in higher wisdom. To us, as we are in the mantra fires, being the vortex, we simply uplift the vibrations around us. Wherever we are, we know our vibrancy of light is the Supreme Self. And any being, human, animal, any being, anything of life, reacts to this higher vibrancy. And this vibrancy of being the vortex is the gift of mantra chanting. Next, when we are in the higher vibrancies, we attract to ourselves only goodness. All the grandness of reality comes to us. When we have transcended the mind to being the spirit having the human experience, we are desireless. We are not attached. And yet, beyond the desireless is the desireless desire, the ancient intent. A higher vibrancy is constantly pulling to us blessings in all forms. Blessings as in a form of bringing wholeness to us. When we chant, we are being whole and complete. So we attract only the whole. As we chant, we know that in our vibration, that attracts similar vibrations. The negative vibrations are not ours, and greater realities is absolutely ours. The magnificence of our experience is absolutely ours, and from here we create our realities. The next, now as we chant, we are being the spirit having the human experience. As spirit, we have transcended the karmic patterns that is imposed on us when we are in the I identity. As we transcend to being the we, the spirit, we are now understanding that we do have control over fate. We are the master of our destiny. As a spiritual being, we constantly transform our limitations to potentials, transform our karma to dharma. We know we are at the receiving end of grace at all times by being grace. How does that work? When we know the law of dharma and karma, we avoid what can cause more of karma, and we do goodness from our heart to know that we are enhancing our vibrancies. Now, as we journey within to our truest identity, being the spirit, having this magnificent human realities, we understand we are here for a purpose. Our time is limited as human. It can be numbered by the breath we take. Now, knowing we are here for a purpose, knowing we are the spirit having the human experience, we master our destiny in doing. We transform ourselves so we can affect transformation for humanity, for planet Earth, for all the living. And finally, the last but not the least, the collective power of we. Now, when we are meditating and when we have transcended the mind, we have transcended the I limits, I identity. Now, we are the we. The we means all of the masters of the past, all of the realized beings of the past are with us now. When we are with Source, God, Goddess, we are also with all the beings of light who are around Source, God, Goddess. When we receive the grace of thought, that is wisdom as it comes from the light, the inner light. Every one of us have this potential as an opportunity of every minute, every moment. we can all tap into becoming the spirit, being the many as one, and being the multiplication of whom we truly are. Now, within our journey, through yoga, through meditation, to be one, to be the oneness, is the inner fire. The inner fire is incredibly important in our spiritual journey, because this inner fire is tapas. Now, when we are constantly chanting and chanting and chanting a mantra, we are now creating an innermost sacred fire, and within this fire is the sacred fires of all the realized beings coming together as one. The I becoming the we now being the totality of all the light of the past, of all the masters in the past and present, being with us now. The power of tapas is tapping into the enormity of this power. So, when we are chanting the mantra, know that we are tapping into all these dimensions. Now, we are empowered. So, to go back and go through all of this that we mention of the mantra, the first, before we chant the mantra, say a little prayer to the one who gave us the mantra. Connect to that lineage of that guru, that master, whoever gave us the mantra. Connect to that being in gratefulness. The second, enjoy the journey. Bhakti, devotional love. Enjoy it. It's pure. It purifies us. The love for God, the love for the absolute, the love to be the void, the love to be the God, goddess, is the most beautiful gift we can ever have. As we chant, focus on bringing the mind into singularity like a magnifying glass, converging all of the love, all of the focus, all of the resonance into one singular spot. And this singularity is that God source that we are invoking within ourselves. Now, bring ourselves to breath, transcend breath. Sit inside the state of samadhi, even if it is for just 20 seconds. We are now receiving the grace blessings of many lifetimes in the moment, in expanding our consciousness. Now is understanding that we have created for ourselves a core that cannot be, core of peace and love and tranquility that cannot be taken away from us. No matter what the external is, no matter what ridiculous drama is happening in our life, the core remains, and we are the core of light. And as we journey, we begin to understand that we are the miracle, since we are the one whom we have invoked. Be, the Siddha sages would advise, summa ire, simply be. In being means be the divinity, be who we have invoked as in simply being. Now, enjoy the powerful vortex that we are. Know that as the vortex of light, we are protected at all times. No matter what darkness comes to us, no matter what karma holds in store for us, no matter what collective karma is enforced on us, no, we are the vortex, and this vortex is beyond the power of anything that can limit us, that can hold us, that can threaten us. Know that no matter what, we have no fear, because we are the light, we are the vibrancy. Now, we are the vibrancy that essentially not only deflects any negativity, but also sets a light all or any contact it has in the form of life, in the form of any entity, in the form of any reality. Wherever we go, we constantly uplift the vibrancies. We are constantly alighting the light everywhere we go. Now, as master of destiny, choose for ourselves the highest that gives us the ultimate joy. Why am I here? Is the question we ask after I am. So if I am here, what am I here to do that will make my heart sing? What am I here to do that is evolving me by way of inspiration? That within that is the mantra power working, allowing for us to recognize the highest purpose and to do our highest purpose, and to allow each moment to manifesting that reality stored within us. Then is the collective power. Whenever we pray, imagine every human is God. Some know it, some are unconscious. Know that all the beings of light, of life, all the life force is within us as the many. And when we are the source, God, light, we are surrounded by all the angelic light. All of that is ours. So when we meditate, no, this enormity of being the blessings is ours. Grateful divine beings, Om Namah Shivaya. In grace, in light, in the sacred mantra fires, may each of us be divine, be the divine embodiment of our highest potential here, uplifting humanity, uplifting ourselves in the magnificence of realities. Om Namah Shivaya. Om. Grateful for the moments we shared together. To learn more or to connect with Nandhiji, email us awake@nandhi.com, NANDHI.com, or visit our website nandhiji.com, NANDHIJI.com. In grace and blessings as one. Om Namah Shivaya.